It was here we were introduced to his talent, his athleticism, his astonishing dunks.
Dunking phenom Zion Williamson. He's an absolute beast.
This is where the legend was lost. Even though he was only here for 4 years, this is home.
Well, he loves this town. Spartanburg, it's kind of, we adopted him.
For Zion Williamson, the journey to Spartanburg, South Carolina began 170 miles away in Florence. While attending elementary school there, he joined the Florence Youth Basketball League.
The Florence Youth Basketball team, we used to give everybody at least half the game to play, which was 24-minute quarters. Zion was so competitive. Zion always wanted to play that whole game.
Zion traveled 20 miles each day to Marion, where he attended Jonakin Middle School, a predominantly African-American school sitting in the middle of subsidized housing.
He was an office helper. He was on the student council team, the academic challenge team.
We was in honors classes in middle school, so he would like make A's in basically all his classes, and he would help me with some of the stuff I was struggling with.
His mother, Sharonda Sampson, was the school's physical education teacher and the head coach of the boys' team. Zion's stepfather, former Clemson basketball player Lee Anderson, helped out. The Jonakin 8th grade team was good enough to win the 2014 PD Conference Middle School Championship.
And the Zion, what?
Williamson.
And you had a good game tonight. Tell me how the season's been going for you so far.
Season been going all right.
Uh-huh.
We had our up and down in the game against Hartsville.
Are you starting to get some attention from on a national basis right now? Are you getting?
I don't know right now.
You don't know? Okay. Well, good luck for the rest of the season, son.
While Zion as an 8th grader wasn't on anybody's national radar, coaches throughout South Carolina took notice of the skinny 5'9" point guard.
We would host basketball tournaments here in Spartanburg, and he had a high basketball IQ even at that age, and you could just tell he was a little bit different than the other kids.
In the summer of 2014, Zion was offered a scholarship to attend Spartanburg Day High School, nearly 200 miles away. The environment at Spartanburg Day? Different.
The only people that were there that were African American or of a different race, it probably was like maybe 7 or 10 kids.
Zion loved people, and people loved him. And I think because of that, he adjusted fine. I mean, he was right at home.
Each Sunday, Zion played in pickup games arranged by Lee Sauter. The coach's goal in those games? To expose his team to older and tougher competition. Willis Woodruff, a former college basketball star who's in the Hall of Fame of USC Upstate, would soon discover that Zion was tough enough.
And he would be like, Willis, you ready to get killed? This dude at this time was like 14, 15 years old. It was just his way of showing me that, I'm the king now.
In 2016, Zion, then a sophomore, led Spartanburg Day to the first boys basketball state championship in school history. By his junior year, he was averaging more than 30 points per game.
Anderson Christian was our first time really seeing a gym packed out the way he did a 360. And he did a windmill in that game. But that was when it just kind of blew up. That's when everything started changing. Zion went from having around 1,000, 2,000 followers on Instagram to 16, 20,000, maybe like a week.
After practice, we had another guard, Chandler Lindsay, and him and Chandler would try to do dunks, and it was some of the things they were trying to do it was insane. I threw it anywhere, he'd dunk it. It wasn't hard. He could just throw it within 10 feet of the rim, and he seemed like he'd get it. So just throw it up was my philosophy. Like, honestly, he was too good for the high school. Like, he was just too big. He couldn't, like, people in high school couldn't guard him.
The lob, Williamson! Oh, thunderous!
Zion just kind of changed Spartanburg Day from maybe a local regional team to a national team, and he's actually just elevated everybody.
Drake followed Zion on Instagram, and then he posted the picture wearing the 12, and I was like, that's a Spartanburg Day. That's crazy. That's where I go to school, and that's Drake. And I still was just kind of in shock with it.
After games, it took us forever to actually leave because he'd sign every autograph.
Zion led Spartanburg Day to 3 straight state championships. Even as his status grew, Zion, the person, never changed.
We have a group text with all of our players from when he played in high school. I mean, you would never know that he's as big as what he is.
Soon, an NBA city will enthusiastically welcome Zion Williamson. That city can only hope that the young man with the biblical name will bless its NBA franchise, just as he blessed Spartanburg.
I've never seen any player like Zion in the world. I think he has the chance to be the best player on the planet.